Okay, so I'm just going to show you a couple lessons and how this is laid out. So when you get this curriculum, it comes, like in two books. So you'll get like your teacher's manual, and then you have your activity book. What I found, so I used to use it just like that. We would just go through it in the book as normal. It was fine, but because I have a lot of kids and a lot of things to do, I have to have kind of open and go. So I kind of basically tore them apart and I put them together a little differently than other people might. But it works really well for us, and I think it's really fun. So I have two of the lessons. These are two that we're working on right now. So now this is level 1. There is a primer level that is, we've done it too. It's like, I don't know where she would be at. So level 1 or primer is like learning the alphabet. So like the names of the ABCs, and some phonics, but not a ton. And then level 1 starts into your phonics. So those are kind of the difference. I think that you could start on level 1, whether you knew all the names of the alphabet or not, just because like you're gonna learn the names. I mean, the sounds are really actually more important at that age. So you could go straight into level 1, but if you want to, the primer level is fun and it has a lot of fun activities and little kids really like it. So I don't think it's a bad idea to go through it at all. Okay, so let me just pull out. So this is lesson 3. So basically I have a massive 3-ring binder of all of the lessons. And they're all put into, for lesson 1, they're all put into these little things. What do you call those? I don't even know. Okay. Page protectors. There we go. Okay, so basically what you have is you have your sound, your phonics cards. So these are the ones you're going to be teaching in the lesson. You have your word cards, which these are to help with fluency. So you practice these to get quicker at using the phonics. Then you have the games. There's always, usually at least one game, sometimes 2. So like this one's one of my kids' favorites actually. So you just have like a bone, and on the back they have to read the word, and then if they read it correctly they can feed it into the monster mouth. So they love that. So that one's pretty popular in our house. So you have the games, and then this is the lesson. So I actually took the lessons out of the book and put them with the rest of their things. And I went through the activity book, colored the whole thing, and laminated. So they're just ready to go. I don't have to do anything to make the games ready. They're just there, ready to go. So this is really easy because it just tells you exactly what to do. It's basically word for word what you do. So you also use a lot of a whiteboard. So this is the whiteboard. So you want to get a big one because I lay this on the table and then the kids can pull down. They're all magnetic. So they pull them down. This comes with the program. So the whiteboard doesn't, but all the letters do. So this is part of the lesson, and the kids love that. It's actually really important because it's sensory based. So you'll do that part. There's always little tips in here, which I've found actually really fun. There's always like fun things that you can add in if you want to. Also, All About Reading always has some grammar in it. It's not, I wouldn't call it a complete grammar program, but basic grammar is included. Like they're going to talk a lot about vowels and consonants and open syllables and closed syllables, and so it's really interesting. In fact, I've actually learned some things that I didn't remember, so that's pretty cool. And so then you have your games, which are fun, and your reading, and then the last thing they have that go, well, they have the chart. You just fill it out as you go. They get stars when they finish a lesson. And then these are the fluency practices. These seem like at first they seem kind of redundant, but they help tremendously in fluency. So don't skip those. I know some people do, but they're actually really helpful. So like what we do is we set the timer. You only need about 15 to 20 minutes. I would say even 10 for little ones, but 15 to 20 minutes a day of phonics is plenty for a child. So we set the timer. So for like Joshua, who's my kindergartner, we set it for 15 minutes. And we go through as much of the lesson as possible. Sometimes we get through the whole lesson in that. I wouldn't say, we don't normally get through the whole fluency sheet. Usually we get through like one section of the fluency sheet. And then we're done for the day. And then how you know when they move on to the next lesson. So you may only do lesson 3 like one day. Like today, Joshua moved up in one day because he already knew the sounds associated with that. So how you know is once they've mastered these green cards, like they just know they can look at them and read them quickly and efficiently, then they're ready to move on to the next lesson. So you can move on as you need to. And that's another reason why I like it to be like open and go, because that way when I see, okay, you know what, he totally knows these, I can, and that they know the sounds as well. But if they know these, they probably know their sounds pretty well. But if he passes this off, I can just grab the next lesson, throw it on the shelf, and I'm ready to go for the next day. So it's very little prep, and I like that. So I'll show you this other lesson as well. This is just another one from the same book, but with a little bit different activities in it. So this one obviously has your sound cards, your review cards. This one comes with a word flipper, and the kids love these. Again, I put this all together before I even start the program, because this way it is ready to go. I'm not tempted to be like, oh, I don't want to cut and color anything today, so I'll just skip it. It's there, it's ready, so we'll just do it. And then the lessons are always in the same general setup. I really, really read the tips because they're actually like really fantastic. And then the fluency sheets at the back. And then they just mark when they're done. Okay, so this program is great because it's based on Orton Gillingham, which, if you don't know, is just a multisensory approach to reading. So you're using lots of different parts of your brain when you're doing it. I used all of those, 100 easy lessons, 20 lessons to reading. We have that one in here too. They're great. They worked really well for my oldest 2 kids who are advanced and good readers. However, my 3rd child has dyslexia, and we started using those types of programs, and there was no way it was going to happen. I mean, they just would not work for him with the way that he learns. So this has worked tremendously for him. And then it also has worked for my next child, who's an advanced reader as well. So I think it's really nice because it will work for lots of different, because all the learning styles are included already, then it works for a lot of different kids. And then also it comes with these stories too, to read. And it tells you when you're supposed to read them and what you're supposed to read, but they're just very, your basic. They're fun. I mean, and I love the illustrations in these. They're actually really nicely done. And my kids love them, so that's good. So anyhow, if you have any questions, let me know. But I really do recommend this program. So level 1, you go all the way through level 1. And if you choose to do the primer, so you would do the primer and then level 1. And then when you start level 2, you can put level 1 of spelling in at the same time and do them simultaneously. And the spelling is fantastic. It's set up in much the same manner, but it just teaches a lot of tricks and tips that honestly I wish that I would have been taught. They're just really cool. So I think that's it. Anyhow, I hope this helps, and good luck in the new homeschooling journey.